It's day 29 of my You versus You challenge, and today I just wanted to hop on really quick to talk about something that a lot of people avoid like the plague, and that is confrontation. Now, for some people, the word confrontation sounds like a curse word, and they avoid it at all costs. Mainly because they don't like to argue, and when they hear the word confrontation, they're like, I don't want to get into it with people, so I'm just going to avoid it. Or due to your own unresolved trauma or past issues that you've had with people and the outcomes that happen, you've already gotten your mind an idea of how you think a confrontation is going to go, or a conversation, and you just avoid it. And I'm here to tell you that that never is a good idea, because whatever it is that you're sweeping under the rug and choosing to ignore usually comes out in weeks, months, years later, and that time, that conversation is usually never something that goes well. But I want to tell you, in my world, confrontation is not bad. It's actually an act of self-love. Now, I think when you confront issues, conversations, situations, treatment, there's a way to do it respectfully and in love, and avoid arguments, because confrontation is not about arguing. It's about asserting yourself. It's about being honoring your value and discussing issues in real time, and not allowing it to fester and expect things are going to change. Now, I know sometimes we can be in the middle of a conversation or a situation with somebody, and we might be so heated that it's best that we don't address it right then. Okay, so maybe you do need a cool off period, but don't wait weeks and months to talk about something that bothers you. And I'm going to tell you personally, one of my pet peeves is if I'm having a discussion or confronting someone on something, and in an effort for that person to defend themselves or try to make a point, they pull something out the closet that happened 8 months ago or 3 years ago that has absolutely no relevance to the conversation that we're having right now, but they want to use that one thing that they chose not to address when it bothered them, and now the initial conversation that we're having is about something that don't even have anything to do with anything. That never ends well. So I just want to encourage you, like, if you need to confront issues, conversations, situations with people in the workplace, in your personal life, in your romantic situations, in your family dynamics, there is a way to do it where it doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't have to turn into a knockdown, drag out fight. Now, if you're someone who feels like you may not articulate yourself the best, and in that sense, not that you don't know how to speak, but when you want to get your point across and explain how you feel, that your words get jumbled up and you get anxious and stuff, how about you make a list? How about you write down what it is that you want to address, like the key bullet points that you want to hit, so that way when you have the conversation, you can go in with a plan, as opposed to feeling like you're all over the place. And then also go in knowing that, listen, sometimes we can agree to disagree. It doesn't have to end with a fairy tale ending, but as long as that respect is always there, and you're listening, you're actively listening, and giving the other person an opportunity to explain themselves, apologize if necessary, and correct the behavior, then we can move on somewhere. That way, confrontation is bad. But granted, we can only control how we show up in situations. But I guess the point I want to drive home is that avoiding confrontation is never good. Avoiding conversations, ignoring situations, ignoring things, and sweeping them under the rug because you feel like you don't want to deal with them, it never turns out good in the end. So there's a way that you can address things respectfully and in love. And if you need time to think about how you're going to address it, do that. But don't wait that's just my pet peeve. Anyway, confrontation is not a curse word. It's good. It can be good. It's an act of self-love. So I'm gonna go. Thank you for joining if you're watching. And I'm gonna go because day 30 is tomorrow and I can't wait for it to be over. This 30-day challenge has stretched me like a Gumby. Okay, so as I'm on here sharing with you, I'm learning as well and having to do self-reflection on myself as well. So like and share the video, and if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.